Just shattered the glass ceiling and got a huge promotion and raise, but I feel somewhat ashamed of it. Has anyone else experienced this? As the title suggests, I was just offered a promotion and a big ass raise today. I'm literally in shock that someone thinks I deserve $89,000 as a base salary. I grew up pretty poor, working class family in a bad neighborhood. I put myself through college, all of my student loans are in my own name, and I've been financially independent since I was 16 and old enough to work. I've worked my ass off and think I absolutely deserve this promotion, but because of the way I grew up I'm really nervous to tell my mom how much money I'll be earning. As pumped as I am, I feel really uncomfortable because money has always been something to be ashamed of or an awkward situation for me. I'm 28, a female, and I just broke that fucking glass ceiling. I want to scream it from the rooftops but I can't get past feeling ashamed for some reason. Can anyone else relate? TLDR offered a big ass salary increase and promotion. I'm stoked, but also kind of uncomfortable about it because of how I grew up. Anyone have tips for getting past this? Never feel ashamed of accomplishments like this. Continue to do well to shatter the next ceiling. Imposter syndrome. 100%. Any tips to getting past it? Came here to second this, imposter syndrome. Dude, just recalibrate and know that $89,000 was your first ceiling. Not your last. Pretend $500,000 or whatever is your next glass ceiling. You shouldn't feel ashamed of something that you should most definitely be proud of. First of all, congratulations. Secondly, your parents should want that opportunity for you to be able to get that starting salary as a woman and to get to say that you've accomplished that. It's an amazing feat and you deserve that joy. Thank you, Purple Heart. Congratulations. Clapping hands sign. Just share the promotion, don't share the number. Also, you have the right to not share everything, so if it makes you uncomfortable then you don't have to do it. If you're feeling guilt about doing better than your parents or peers, then rationally you know that's not helpful or even logical. Emotionally, you doing well is not a judgment on anyone else. If anything, you doing well is a sign that perhaps you had better opportunities and experiences and made the most of them. So it is your achievement, but you also had a lot of helpful people on the way. And you're going to be helpful to others and paying it forward. This. OP, don't share the number. Keep at it and one day you'll make 178k. I was in your shoes once. At 28, I made 19-20/HR. By 33, I was making 6 figures. At 36, I'm making $0. In summation, you deserve the best of everything. Don't let a number make you feel ashamed. Rejoice and keep aiming higher. So you retired or you got laid off? Haha. Yes, get it, girl. I went from 65k to 120k this year. We immigrated here from South America in the 80s, so I've always felt like I didn't have as much as others because I didn't have roots here and I couldn't believe it happened. Say it with me now. Imposter syndrome. It is something that continues through your undergrad, grad, and into our careers. Congratulations. You worked your ass off and you deserve it. Just enjoy the feeling now and slowly think about the strategy to tell your mom. Congratulations. Just a couple thoughts of someone who has been there. I agree with the other posters, especially if you are the first in your family to break that wage barrier. Don't share the number. Also, if you haven't had money like that before, I really recommend taking a very basic finance class, talking to a financial advisor, or just reading about budgeting, retirement etc. For many people who grew up without a lot, we know poverty finance, and poverty finance leaves you with a lot of knowledge gaps on things like 401k, and high-yield savings accounts, and different types of insurance that you may not have had access to before or may hold a belief that it's not worth the investment because back then it wasn't. And like others have said, prepare yourself for imposter syndrome, she's a bitch. I found that keeping a journal of my wins helps me center when I feel like a fraud. I'm betting that you will discover that the people that make more money don't really work any harder, they just have different situations and tasks where their actions can deliver bigger results. Just keep doing the actions that they expect you to do, and you will deliver results. You will soon learn why you are making more money and you will find that you are worth it. Congratulations. And Immo, based on what you shared, imposter syndrome is not what's at play here. You're just hitting your upper limit coined by Gay Hendricks as you stretch beyond the paradigms that deeply influenced you, instilled by the people who were shaped by the paradigms that influenced them. What you're experiencing is totally natural, and overcomeable. I highly suggest reading The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks, and journaling and peeling back the layers to see if you can find the mental stories that trigger these feelings and reframe or replace them. Hope this helps. Congrats again. Advice: don't tell anyone how much you earn, you'll lose friends and family over it when they start begging. Just a reminder that you don't have to tell your family how much you earn. It creates all sorts of resentment in other family that isn't doing as well, and a sense of entitlement, too. I sort of had this kind of experience, where you feel like you don't deserve what you're getting, like you're asking yourself, how did I get myself into this? I think this is because we're so used to getting lower value in our entire life, then just suddenly in just a snap you're way up top. Now it feels unreal. But trust me, as long as you got that promotion fair and square in your own hard work, you don't have to feel that way. Lift your chin up and be proud of yourself. If someone's talking shit about your promotion, you're going back to square one and you're going to feel this way again, but think about how you went up there, the reasons and the hard work you've put in, and say to yourself, I'd deserve this. Just enjoy the fruits of your success. Can you be my sugar mommy? Need help? Congrats. I just don't talk numbers with anyone I think wouldn't be happy for me. It is hard at first, but if it makes them feel bad and you feel bad, why not just not say the number? If you're pressed, make a joke. If they were really persistent, I'd be frank. You earned it, dear hardworking lady. You deserve it. Do whatever you want to celebrate and be happy that your efforts were not in vain. Former teen mom here who put herself through college and law school. You will not necessarily get over it, but you will learn to value yourself and your accomplishments. Congrats on the success. You earned it with grit and determination and will only go up from here. She should be proud of you for doing so well. I'm saying this to help you, not to be an asshole, but make sure you are careful which family members you tell. P.S. You don't have to tell your mom what you make. Simple. Don't tell your mom exactly how much you make. Rough ballparks are fine, but despite my parents prodding, they don't know my exact salary. Good job on the raise, it just feels new, but you'll get used to it. I be like, bitch, it is fucking timing. No, I'm not entitled, lol. Even if OP doesn't feel this way, fake it till you make it can be a good way to beat imposter syndrome, can also be a way to develop the Dunning-Kruger effect though. Mood. Congrats. It is definitely a big deal and get fundamentally change the course of your life. Since you've been working hard for so long, rising to the occasion is something you're very familiar. I'm sure you'll succeed in this new role. Imposter syndrome. Maybe you feel a bit sad for all of the people affected by the pandemic. You think this is only temporary. All are normal and signs you are a grounded person. Imposter syndrome, as has been said, try reframing it in your mind. You are an imposter and you've infiltrated a position you shouldn't be in. You're a spy or a criminal or something. If it will work, but it is something I read. It is worth a try. Maybe you can trick your brain. Tam your age, and grew up in horrible environment for a kid as well, working class / poor neighborhood, you name it. I absolutely feel you. When I changed my shitty physical job for an office / specialist one, I worked retail / production and studied in the meantime, suspending my degree in the end because of 3-shift job that rotated me between hours as they pleased. I still feel bad about it, but what can you do when you need to maintain your sanity first and can't get a job that fast? I felt so fucking out of the place, like I stole an opportunity from someone more deserving, baby, when I tell you how much it changed over time, haha. 1 am very confident with what I do, gladly will consult stuff needed to be changed / introduced, and am going to take over next unit possibly in this year. Sometimes it's so weird and humbling that people consider my words so seriously, but then, I have some knowledge od my field and am still actively learning. It just had to start to see the boss in me, see the capability, acknowledge the ambition and let go of fears / trauma accumulated over the years. I've grown so much it is insane, and I hope I will never let a towel get into my head. You go girl. You just freaking know how it truly is to make it in your own hands. You just know, and it never goes away. Baby, show yourself some great amount of love. It is you that made it happen. Darn, maybe one day I will have that big of a raise. We're all human and have so many personality facets. Probably just some mild imposter syndrome mixed with excitement. Decide how you really feel after the first paycheck. But really, keep going strong, and keep clear on your personal goals. It's just imposter syndrome. When you get up there, work at that level and see how many stupid men are promoted easily to such spaces. This feeling will pass, no offense guys, but you know of at least one male boss you are certain has kept his job just simply because he knows where all the bodies are buried. Also, I am sure there are similar women you will know a female boss of the same lack of caliber, but let's be honest, it's mostly men up there. As to for telling you mum, maybe keep it private for a while. But look out for her a bit, treat her, secure some things for her, pay off a debt if / when you can afford it, or upgrade, get health insurance if you're in the USA. BTW congratulations, you are awesome babe. Congratulations. I hope you know that despite your challenges, you deserve this. Your family doesn't need to know how much you make though. I have never shared that information with any family or friends. Don't feel ashamed, take what you can grab. That's what your competition is doing. It's definitely an unfamiliar feeling that is understandable due to your experiences growing up. The imposter syndrome is there, yes, but you might also just be in disbelief at the moment, because for anyone that is a very high salary, and the fact that you broke the glass ceiling is even more incredible. Savor it, celebrate it with some friends and family. It's an accomplishment, not some freebie that was randomly given to you. You worked hard and earned it, you just can't believe it's finally in your hands. I felt that way when I finally made over 50k. Can't imagine how you feel at almost 90k. Just wait until that first paycheck comes in. Then as you work more you'll understand what your worth is going forward, putting you on even stronger positions. Wow, I'm really pleased for you. You deserve to be proud of your achievements and you deserve to be paid for them too. Curbed my imposter syndrome by being proud that I came from where I was ghettos of NYC and realizing I am capable and I belong and that most people I'm surrounded by are around the same intelligence as me probably but maybe have worked harder, which makes them seem smarter than they actually are. Honestly, I'll probably still feel imposter syndrome in the future looking forward to full-time and near future, but on the flip side of imposter syndrome, it probably means I'm surrounded by people who I think are smart, which is always a good thing. LOL. Congratulations. Maybe you could share the percentage increase in your salary rather than the actual amount you earn? This is the route I went when I got a new, much better position. For me, it was much easier saying I'm getting paid 25% more than my last job than giving the actual number. It still gets the point across that you got better compensation for your skills without bringing in money guilt talking to family. I was amazed to make more than I ever imagined. I tried to channel it into donating quite a bit for me to causes I support. Congrats. I wouldn't advertise it though. When people find out you make good money, they tend to come out of the woodwork thinking you owe them something. Like what are you ashamed of exactly? I'm honestly not sure. I'm sure it will come full circle and I'll find the root of this feeling, but for now I'm still searching. Congratulations. I grew up in a poor, working class family too. I'm still relatively young and not making that much yet, but I'm happy to see someone else who had a similar background succeed. You have to recognize that you worked hard to make this happen and should not discount that. Thank you, I appreciate that. I wish you best of luck as you continue to grow into yourself and explore career and life in general. You can do it too. You have to work 10x harder than some others ever will, no one hustles quite like someone who has always had to. The perfect reply for rejection email. I found the best answer for unfortunately, we are not moving forward with your application. Dear hiring manager, thank you for your interest in giving me a rejection email. I have reviewed your email and I am impressed with your rejection reasons and other suggestions. However, I already received too many rejections this year. Therefore, after careful consideration, I have decided not to accept your rejection to my application. Please understand that this is not a negative evaluation of your rejection email, but rather a reflection of my unique choice criteria. Once again, I appreciate your courage to reject my application and wish you success in your future rejecting. I am looking forward to working with you and to receiving the new hire orientation tasks. Thank me later and congrats in advance on your job. TBH, in this market it is actually good if you even get a written rejection email with some advice. It is not what you want. You obviously want the job, but more and more people are being ghosted and it is really not okay, and personally, when it has happened to me in the past it wrecked my self-esteem. Exactly. You put so much time and effort into it and then absolutely nothing. Ghosting seems to be the new norm. I agree. Well, I guess this just applies to those who are fortunate enough to receive rejection emails. LOL. This is so true. I lost count of how many applications I've sent and have only received 2 rejection emails. The others have gone radio silence even when in their job listing they talk about transparency and that they answer all applications to let the candidates know if they are moving forward. The post did make me laugh, though. Same here. Happened to me after a 9-hour interview across 2 days. Hiring manager even called me on her own. Then ghost. I left them an interview review on Glassdoor because I felt slighted. Literally, I got a generic rejection email last week after going through 5 interviews, a mini project, and a reference check after 1 month. I asked the company if I could have some feedback. Their reply was, due to company policy we cannot provide feedback. However, you did great on your interviews and your references were very strong. Like what? Give me something. Especially after dragging me the past month. You guys get rejection reasons and suggestions? I only get standard emails. That reply was perfect. Far more professional than the snarky responses I gave to rejections. Keep it up. Thank you. You're free to use it. Joke is when the rejection comes from an reply email. You could just troll worse and say you have 3 other very competitive offers and you didn't think they'd be able to match anyway. So, did it work? Want me to give it a try? Continue this thread. Most rejection emails are auto-generated with an unmonitored inbox. I'll tell you what. Come in early Monday morning and we'll squeeze you in. Thank me later and congrats in advance on your job. You're implying you are successful doing it this way, or was that statement as sarcastic as the reply itself? That's sarcastic. How do you deal with rich kids at your work? I work in entertainment, so it's really common to have someone in their early 20s who clearly comes from a very wealthy background, floating around the office and not doing any actual work. I used to work for an agency where this girl would just be chatting up all the agents and major executives who would barely even make eye contact with the rest of us. I used to think, wow, she's so confident and cool, why can't I be like her? Then I found out her mom is the head of a major TV network and makes around $25 million a year. I work with teenagers who come from very rich families, as a mentor, and I've struggled with this same thing. A lot of what I try to teach them about work and life might not apply to them because of their parents' finances, which gives them opportunities and privileges that most normal people don't/wabby have. After struggling to see what I could offer them and feeling that it is unfair that they get these things and take them for granted, I realized that what I was doing was comparing myself to them. Those feeling of inadequacy come from comparing myself and my life situation to theirs. I'm not fully over those feelings, but since I started trying to be grateful for what I have instead of what I lack, those feelings have been slowly subsiding. The world is unfair and people get unfair advantages over others. There is no changing that, so we need to control what we can control and find happiness in that. Befriend them, learn their ways, and reap the benefits. I interned with the son of a credit card company CEO and the daughter of a mortgage exec who helped create the 2008 financial crash. I learned how to better carry myself, exude confidence, and become a trusted colleague who they talk up to the right execs. How is that guy's dad not in fucking jail? Learn their ways? Unless you win the lottery, their ways are beyond your reach. Change your perspective on this. Not everyone gets the job solely on their skills or experience. Some are hired based on who they're friends with/referral, who they're related, a minority, their personality or etc. Regardless of why you're hired, it is more important on what you do in the job. Hopefully, since she is there, she does want to have some impact at her job/workplace. If you have free time, ask her if she wants to see/learn some of the responsibilities you and your co-workers do. She is floating around because she is bored. She could possibly feel inadequate because she got a job because of her mom and not any of her qualities. If she finds her time more meaningful because of you, it might help you find better jobs or meet these executives. She might act confident, but she is probably more insecure than she would want you to believe. She knows she didn't get there on her own and will always live in her mother's shadow. The way she acts with confidence is just that. An act. Deep down she knows she nothing without her mother. Her mother brought her up to that position, and should her mother ever fall from grace, she is going down with her. It's not what you know, it's who you know. This goes for a vast majority of jobs out there. The made her own role thing doesn't seem that weird to me. I've done it on a couple of occasions. I have a wide range of skills and companies don't typically assume that they will find those skills in the same person. I've convinced companies that they should create a role that lets me use my wide range of skills, rather than shoehorning me into a role that uses a small subset of my abilities. They're usually pretty isolated. Genuinely get to know them and be an asset. Never know when you need rock friends and people in high places. No sense feeling inadequate. I mean, you probably are as much as most of the rest of us. But the difference is if you're smart you don't need to go around carrying that. Look at Trump. You need to have about 100 points less of that swagger and confidence while still being broke AF and owing the Chinese 20M. He may be a loon, but he is a good model of the level of confidence the inadequate need to feel in order to survive amongst the elite. You can't get around it. That's the privilege they were born with. I work around PPL whose parents hold big positions in the company and they are doing everything school-wise to get direct stream into their parents' position when they retire. They're not smarter than anyone else, but they have privilege. Try to make friends with them. See if you can become their best friend. Trust me, having wealthy friends pays dividends. Play dumb about their wealth the whole time. My sister is friends with a wealthy woman and she gives my sister $200 a month simply because she took a liking to her. Try to find out what their interests and hobbies are and try to have to the same interest. If you form a friendship with wealthy people, there's a good chance they might help you out down the road, if you catch my drift. We had one at a place I worked. She never cashed her paychecks. She never set up direct deposit, so she got her paychecks handed to her. She would just put them in her drawer and forget them. The bookkeeper was close to meltdown over it. I lost a very expensive key to client property. What do? I'm a new grad and have been working at my company for about a year. I work in environmental consulting and about 3 weeks ago we needed to do some field work that involved using a key to open gates to a ranch to take water and soil samples. I went with Boss A and now Boss B wants to redo it all over again this Tuesday. Boss A gave me the key and said it is worth $10,000 and to not lose it. I found a dedicated space in my car, one of those sunglasses compartments where you can close it and put a keychain figure on it. I did not remove it from the car. Well, about a week ago I ended up accidentally driving into this car wash where they wash the outside, hand dry the outside and vacuum/take out trash. It was a one-way and they were busy, so I couldn't just back out, so I decided to just pay for a wash. They did an okay job. Well, tonight I wanted to check on the key and I opened the compartment. It was not there. I checked under the car seats, all sunglasses compartments, the trunk, under the car mats, every side door, the glove compartment and the trunk. It isn't there. No one else has been in my car the past few weeks and I swear I didn't accidentally throw it away when cleaning out my car. So now I firmly believe they either stole the key with the keychain when cleaning my car or threw it out when they cleaned out trash on the inside. But the key is large and it was in a closed space and obviously not trash. But I'm angry at myself for noticing sooner, and it is not like I can file a police report. How could I prove it? Tell your boss immediately. The car wash story is pretty irrelevant. But you don't want your boss to ask you for the key the day of and not have it. If they need to have a new one made, if it's a unique key, it may require a special order. You could be fired. Hard to know, but I doubt the key is worth $10,000. I'm assuming the company has insurance for these things as well. Nothing you can do except face the music. I would also probably tear through the car again to make sure it didn't fall between anything. Do I just say I lost the key? And should I call tomorrow instead of on Monday? I'm going to check tomorrow when it is light out. I realized this around 6 p.m. tonight and didn't see it. I'm prepared to get fired. I am freaking out though. Key isn't worth 10k, you'd be hard-pressed to find any key that costs that much. Your boss only told you that because it's probably a headache to get all the locks changed. Expensive but not nearly that much. In any case, tell your boss the truth immediately. You may even offer to pay for whatever the true remedy is once you find out what the solution entails. It won't be 10k, but you may have to swallow this cost as a mistake you won't make twice. It depends on how many locks it opens. I've spent that much having to rekey all the exterior doors to a building when someone lost track of one of the copies. The key itself is worth $3, the labor to change locks is probably what the ops boss was talking about. Let your boss know ASAP. Better to let your boss know now than have him find out the hard way. Your car wash story just doesn't add up. What happens is totally up to your boss. If this is your first incident in your year there and you've been reliable for the most part, then it may not as big a deal as you might think. Unless it was made out of solid gold and diamonds, that key is not really worth $10,000. I doubt there is any key worth $10,000. Your boss was exaggerating for effect. Still, it is probably going to be awkward for them to have to explain that they decided to give it to a new grad for safekeeping, who lost it, and now they need to replace the lock and slash or make a copy. You have clearly already learned this in a very painful way, but never ever keep something so important in your car. Doesn't matter if it is a key or a laptop or a sentimental photo, your car is not a lockbox. It is possible it got sucked up in the vacuum. Depending on what kind of vacuum they used, it might be worth it to contact them and ask if they've cleaned out the vacuum since you visited. TBH, I have no idea what the procedure is there. And it is a long shot, but also ask if anyone has turned in a key to lost and found. Finally, offer a $50 reward to anyone who might have found it. Don't accuse them of stealing, as you said yourself, there's no way to prove it. Check on Nextdoor and Craigslist lost and found in case it somehow got dropped and someone found it. Post a lost ad as well. I would also look in your home, check pants and jacket pockets, places you absent-mindedly set things, places you usually put important things other than your car. I know you are certain you didn't take it out, but sometimes we do things on autopilot and don't remember them later. Leave no stone unturned. If none of that pans out, tell your boss tomorrow. Just be honest, you went to check on it Saturday night, realized it was gone, tore your car apart looking for it, tore your house apart looking for it, scoured lost and found ads, contacted the car wash and offered to look through their dirty vacuum cleaner filter, and even offered a reward out of your own pocket. Listing all that stuff out looks a lot better than on my left it in my car and I think someone stole it. They can fire you, but they aren't going to sue you. They might be able to deduct costs from your paycheck, but that varies by state. For example, if you're in CA, you're good. At the very least, be prepared for several lectures about never leaving important things in your car. Was I supposed to send a thank you email post-interview? I was distracted after my interview and didn't send any follow-up. Interview was Thursday, today is Saturday, was thinking I should just email them on Monday thanking him for the interview last week. He told me he'd let me know this upcoming week whether I get the job or not, so I don't feel as though it's too late. Does a Monday email thanking him for the interview on Thursday sound lazy? Ask 10 people and you'll get 20 different answers on thank you notes. If you want to send it, don't send it to arrive first thing in the AM. Wait, what is wrong with first thing in the AM? No. I think it sounds fine. Sometimes I'll wait a bit too. Okay, that's what I thought. It's an admin exec position at a property management company that pays pretty well. They're hiring 2 people, I was the second one being interviewed, and it went well, so I'd like to believe I'm okay. Plus sending an email right away sounds desperate sometimes. I hadn't had to go through a job application process since January of 2019, so I'm a little rusty. How screwed am I if I can't find any work experience or internships before I graduate? I'm an engineering student, but unfortunately my field has no merit and no jobs. All my part-time work is in non-relevant fields whilst my peers seem to be able to make friends/network/seamlessly find work. How bad is it going to be if I don't find work experience by the time I graduate? Should I keep deferring till I can find work experience? It is worth it, to the degree you want it. Generally, interviewers hire by their intuition, on the following soft metrics: *, they want someone passionate about their job, mostly because when not if things go upside down, they won't have to find another newbie to clean up the inevitable mess. Asterisk they want someone experienced, because that person is more likely to prevent things from going upside down. You don't have number 2, naturally, and everyone is there. The only way to make up for it is with enthusiasm, which is impossible to fake. Thus, some soul searching is in order. Ask why you want to do engineering. Consider everything you tend to do in your free time, and see if there's a job linked to any of it. Careers aren't a straight line. My own has been philosophy student / wage slave accountant truck driver CS technician, and will probably move into either dev or technical writing, depending on what the fates have for me. It is either terrifying or exciting, depending how you look at it. Enthusiasm is really easy to fake. I've bullshitted my way through way too many job interviews and gotten an offer just because I was so perky and excited about working for this company. How are you able to transition between fields? I feel like I'm stuck. I chose energy and environmental engineering, absolutely useless and worthless. I thought I was passionate about the environment, but I feel like after being rejected so much I'm just done with this area. I would say I'm passionate about art, but nobody in that is going to employ me. How do you begin soul searching? That's what everyone is telling me to do. It is not like I can pack my bags and move away and find myself during the middle of a pandemic. My boss is putting me and my team in danger, so gotta love capitalism. Coworker tested positive for COVID. No measures taken. Still working on site. Office was cleaned, not sanitized, just clean 3 days after she was gone. While we were waiting results, no measures were taken whatsoever. We would still come into the office. We can all 100% work from home, the equipment is available, our job doesn't require us to be present. We share toilets, kitchen area utensils and having lunch together, and of course office space. We're a team of about 30 people. HR and management are clueless. Asked about WFH possibilities, met with nothing is planned. They advised us to take precautions, wear masks, no gatherings, but the same people that are giving us the advice are not even taking it or reinforcing it. Management are literally laughing and being joyful in the hallways like there isn't a pandemic going on. People in my team are also joking around and not taking this situation seriously at all. So yeah, gotta love corporate America and sparkles capitalism. Sparkles also gotta love people who don't wear masks, don't practice social distancing and make you feel guilty for being scared. Thumbs up sign. Yes, I'm scared because I have parents who could die. Can't quit this job ATM because I need the money and the job market is a mess, so pray that I don't die before I make it out. Yeah, I am very angry, but please, if you have any advice or some moral support, it would be great. I'm sorry you have to go through this with management's double standards and minimal planning. You're right about corporate America, they really don't give two Fs in this pandemic. All I can say is keep wearing your mask and WFH if possible, ask every day about it. You're more likely to get moral support if you make it specifically about your company as opposed to capitalism in general. Otherwise it just becomes a political debate which becomes extremely divisive. Well, the particular brand of capitalism that's practiced in America directly leads to many preventable deaths and illnesses. This pandemic has proven that. I don't blame OP for posting as such. You can't quit your job because you need the money, so, you do understand the reason why shutting down the economy is bad. Don't worry, there's like 99.9% chance you'll live. If you were vulnerable, or someone you know is, normal flu would be just as dangerous for you, and people still work when they have the flu, so transmission is very easy. If you are concerned, work from home or take leave. I'm sure the 200K and dead also thought they weren't the one either. Sad. 34,500 people died of the flu in 2019. That's with over 35 million cases overall. COVID has killed about 250,000 people in the US with 11 million cases. Anyone who says it's comparable to the flu is lying at this point.
Like and subscribe for more Reddit content. Watch the next video at the top of your screen.